All right, we will begin, or I call this board meeting to order. Lynn is absent today, the rest of our board is here, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Sunny, second by Jason. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Comments and requests from visitors. Are there any comments or requests? Seeing no hands raised, we will move on. Consent items. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Jason. Second by Shannon. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The consent agenda is approved. Action items. First up on our action items are insurance renewals.
So our property and network security insurance and our work comp insurance all run on a 10/1 start year, so we got our renewals back from our agent. Property insurance is up about $3,300 from last year. Some of that is tied to the increase in values of our buildings. And then our work comp insurance is about a $12,000 decrease from last year. So overall, about a $9,000 decrease for those insurance for this upcoming year. And then we most likely will bid out our property insurance next fall. I've had some requests from different insurance agents as well to be able to put some bids in. So hopefully next summer it'll be a little less busy and we can get some of those done for next year.
Great. Are there any questions? Is there anything you want to add?
No.
Or you're just recommending that we approve the property and liability insurance and workman's comp and network security? Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Sunny,
Second.
second by Jennifer. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. All right, we'll move on to the second action item, the Education Minnesota Rocori 2019-2021 Master Agreement. Who wants to take this? Do you want to take it?
Sure. So first of all, I just want to say a couple of words. First of all, just want to thank Education Minnesota, Rocori, and the negotiations team for a high level and professional negotiations in which both sides came prepared with reasonable asks, discussed their concerns, developed solutions, and compromised to this proposed agreement tonight. It was overwhelmingly ratified by EMR, and I am going to recommend that you approve this tonight.
Great.
Any of the highlights, we had 2 and 2 on the matrix, 2% and 2% on extracurriculars, steps and lanes, an insurance change, as Beth and Stacy have been very busy on. We removed the bottom step in year 2, and there was some minor Schedule C adjustments.
I will make a motion to approve the master agreement with Education Minnesota Rocori.
Motion by Sunny,
Second.
second by Shannon. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The Education Minnesota Rocori 2019-2021 Master Agreement is approved. That's a big milestone so early in the year, so thank you, negotiations team. Great, okay. Discussion items. First up are policies. 918, use of peace officers, policy 75, tobacco-free policy, and policy 1013, visitors to school building. The peace officers is the second reading, the tobacco and visitors to school is a first.
The visitors to school, that's just a review. There was really no changes there. The tobacco-free policy, there's significant change in that we edited the policy to say electronic delivery devices in most of the areas, and that is in response to, of course, the epidemic of vaping that's going on. And making sure that all of those things that students bring in that they say are, or adults actually are saying that, you know, are flash drives or whatever else, that they're covered under, that they can't just use that as a...
Yeah, we used, MSBA realized that that was a issue, and so they had updated their modern policy, and so we used a lot of their suggestions to changing our policy too, so.
Great. This is just up for discussion, so is there anything that anybody wants to point out? Okay, we will move on, and those will come back. The second reading, the peace officer one will come back for, in the consent agenda at the next board meeting, and then the other two will come back as second readings. Second discussion item is a field trip. There is a request from the FFA to attend the FFA National Convention. Do you want to?
Sure, we have Ms. Berger here tonight.
Oh, wonderful. Great, welcome. Yes, please do. Do you want to introduce yourself to the board? You can come ahead and sit down.
Okay.
Yes.
This works.
Yep. Come to the table.
So I'm Tamara Berger. I am the ag teacher. Just got program started and FFA advisor. So we made it through our first week alive. But this is my first year teaching. It's a great school already, great community, great admin, great students. So I'm very honored to be here. So I just wanted to talk to you about the National FFA Convention. Since Rocori was split or kind of joined the Painesville FFA, we have had some students in the past go, and we are going to be sending 4 students or that would like to go to the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a huge convention that honors a lot of students that either placed first at state in contests and are able to compete at National Convention. Along with that, those events, there are speakers, science fairs, career tours, colleges are there. So it's a great time for students to meet other students from around the country, get some content knowledge within agriculture, experience like personal growth through speakers and just collaboration, and just kind of have a good time to see what FFA can kind of bring to them. Does anyone have any questions?
Have you participated yourself as a student?
I have not. I am not at the national level, but I have in the state.
How are the students selected or identified that attend this?
They request to go, so it is it's about $600 to go that they personally pay for.
Okay.
So it is a big chunk of change, just especially right now, we don't have the funds to help them in any way. So they have requested to go, I believe 2 out of the 4 have gone before. And one is our president, secretary, and parliamentarian. And the other one is just a member.
So we're not funding any of it, but we're just, it's school that we're gonna be missing, or what? So that's really...
Yeah.
It's very similar to like the first robotics. You know, we allow them to be gone from the school to attend this event, but they do most of the fundraising for themselves to attend that national that they did last year in Detroit.
And as the program goes, is there going to be opportunities to maybe do fundraising for program things like
Oh
this?
yeah,
or-
we already have a lot of fundraisers on the agenda. It takes a lot to run a program, but we already have a huge alumni supporting us. So it'd be great to see if students are not financially able to go. I'd hate to see them not be able to go. And our alumni in the past has been able to support them financially. They told me themselves, money's not an issue. Tell us what you need and we'll get it for you somehow, so.
So do you go with, or do they pair up with like Painesville, or?
So this year, I've talked to Natalie at Painesville, and she'd be willing to work out an every other year deal, because it is about a week that I'd have to take out of class, and I'm already gone a lot of the time with FFA events, depending on what teams we have. So this year she'd like
I actually asked if she could go, just being a first year teacher and things like that. And she was willing, and especially because the kids already know her, I think it will work well. And she, I think, only has 4 others, so it should be about 8 total or something like that.
So that every other year thing, is that like an official thing that we would want to do with Painesville?
I think that's
Or
something
is it
that
more-
we'll discuss.
Okay, it's not something that.
It's not, we don't have it set in stone, but we'll
Okay.
Yeah.
discuss it.
Right.
Yeah.
And is there like other, like behind the scenes, like liability forms and all that stuff they have to take care of?
I will
Yeah.
make a permission slip and have their parents sign off. I've already talked to their parents already, so they know kind of what they're doing and where they're staying. They're gonna be with a big group of other FFA students from around the region, and that's how they're getting down there, is getting bused on a region bus. And they have multiple advisors on that bus and parents that chaperone, get them to and from and things like that.
So then Painesville has parents that volunteer to chaperone and
I don't know
pay.
about Painesville
Oh,
particularly,
so
but other chapters in the area, like, I don't know if Albany does, but they would be close enough to, in our region that does.
So in the future, if we have more kids, we may have to find a
Yep.
chaperone or.
Possibly, depending on how many kids, and that might be something where we say, okay, only 10 of the seniors go this year, or things like that, just depending on what it looks like.
All right, this will come back to our next board meeting for approval. But we're really glad that you're here, and I know that our community's really glad that you're here, so it's great to see how quickly you're getting things rolling, and we're already attending national conferences, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Like for scheduling for those kids, I mean, does this have to come back? I mean, if we want to let them plan with their families, they gotta raise money and, I mean, is it something we,
Well, we can always move something to an action item through the board, but the typical is we like to do a 2 readings deal.
Right.
So if the board says, I'll move this to an action item tonight, we're certainly willing to do that.
well, I mean, unless somebody has a really reason not to, I think it gives them another 2 weeks to not have to, you know, worry that we would say no for some reason, and they can start planning how they're gonna come up with the money and, you know, negotiate their own personal schedules. That would be my only.
Sounds like you're making a recommendation.
I am making a recommendation, unless somebody has an issue with that,
Yep.
which I'm not hearing, so I will make a recommendation that we approve the FFA shopper convention.
All right, Shannon made a motion to approve the field trip for FFA. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Sunny. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The field trip is approved. Great,
I don't know.
great. Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, enrollment update.
So in your agenda tonight, we included the current enrollment. And as you can see, we are at 2,213 students. That is 76 students more than we had projected. So as you can imagine, we are full, which is a very good problem to have. And as you approve some of the staffing updates tonight, you can see that we're making adjustments to try to help with that student number increase. Any questions on the enrollment?
All right, let's see. Next up is a staffing update. So just the update related to
Yeah,
staffing the students.
Correct.
Few students.
Well, I have left.
If you want, do you want a minute and we can just talk about upcoming events?
Sure.
Okay, we'll move on, when we'll come back to this action item, we'll move on to upcoming events. Our list. Is there anything of note, Barb, that you want
Mostly we added the listening session on September 13th, so I realize that it's not a quorum, but there is a committee, and in case one of them does come, then you have that also already posted. Then we added the 18th for the update, that meeting, and then the MSBA advocacy tour was added.
On the 17th.
Okay. Perfect.
So yes, thanks for letting me find my sheet paper. It was
Oh,
in
yeah,
there,
no
'cause it was a
problem.
mess, you know,
Okay.
that's what it is. So we did have a position, a cleaner position, CSE, resign, and so we are going to be into that process. We do have a candidate for the LA teaching position. I have not heard yet today. We need to get something verified with her license, but I think that's going to be good to go. We did, as you did prove tonight, we had an interview process for middle school counselor, and that was approved tonight, thank you. And we do have a DAPE teacher, and we're working on the contract and offer for that candidate. We still have some para needs to fill, one to replace Mary Tice, who is retiring here shortly. Mr. Legetter, were you able to get your 2 paras? Yep. And we still have a small lunchroom position at Richmond to fill, so we're just about there.
All right, any other questions? Nope, okay. So unless, did anybody have anything else with upcoming events that they wanted to ask a question about or point out? All right, with that being said, or with nothing being said, then is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Jason,
Second.
second by Jennifer. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.